Hello everyone and welcome to week number 5 of Firestone Firehog action. Back on Road America, long ass track, long lap time, and also just like the size of it too. The lap time gets helped out a little bit by a lot of this track being high speed and straightaways, but oh yeah, it's a long one. But last season, probably one of our best races on this track. I'll throw the there you go. I'll throw the hog sound up for the engine fiends out there. But yeah, so one of our better races, I think it was Moto 1, the one that we did for Firestone Firehog last year. So looking forward to returning to this one. Hopefully as good of a race this time around or better. Let's go through the lineup. It's going to be Slaunch, and we're going to go left then right. Slaunch, then Luke, Detail, then Roman, Camby, then Soul, Matt, then Ramda, and Hunter and Opix. And we're going to be running 11 laps. So the heat races were 3 laps, and of course with the starting order, Slaunch and Luke won the heats in this one. So Slaunch picking up his first heat win in the season, Luke getting his third, I think. Frag out, and we're green. Again, 11 laps, 2 jokers. I'll point out the joker again when we get near it. Let's see if everybody get through this first section clean. So far, so good. That wasn't too bad. This is going to get kind of scary, though. We're going to have a bit of a 4 wide here. Everybody trying not to get into the rocks. Pretty close. Some parts of the track are pretty tight on the edges with the rocks sticking out, and you got to be careful. Other parts are more open. Like as you can see, this turn 5, except for that deep inside, is pretty open. Oh yeah, we're getting the dives in the back. Oh wow, that was an aggressive one. Opix going to that inside of Hunter, trying to get that spot before they get to the carousel. Got to try to get in front before you get to it. Otherwise, stand the risk of getting passed back. And this is an interesting track because it's... can't be on that one. Rip. It's an interesting track because it's tough to pass on this track, but it's not tough to make up time. You can make up time on most of the corners. A couple drivers going for their early jokers. The Opix going for his there. We'll try to catch up with whoever's in front here. Oh. Looks like it was one of those, I think it might have been either Hunter or Ramda that went for his there too. So we've already separated, and yeah, you can already kind of see what I meant with the time. We've already separated quite a bit, even with only 2 joker usages. Look at this race going down into a few different packs here. Let's get a view of the lead battle. Detail running in third right now. Slaunch holding on the lead. Luke second. And yeah, so it's a tough track to pass on, but so obviously, like the joker strategy, as always, pretty important. You can, make up time and make your passes that way. And it's weird because you can make up so much time. Like even the basic corners on this track that don't look like you'd be able to make up a lot of time or have a huge skill gap. Like corners that would be, on the gooses, like wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like corners on the gooses that everybody would kind of take the same and everybody would kind of get the same time on are actually like really important, and you can get massive runs. So like for example, honestly, the first 2 corners, or the last corner and the first corner are 2 of the most important on the track. Detail's going to go for his joker here, so this is kind of interesting. This is what I was thinking about. Let's see if anybody else goes for theirs. Looks like one person did. Hunter goes for his as well. That might have been his second again. I'm not sure who went for that first one. Matt goes for his as well. I believe that would be his first. You can get a look at that battle. But yeah, so the last turn and the first turn. The last turn and the first turn are both like pretty high speed, but they're both hard to get right. And I guess it's very easy to, even though they're like not the hardest corners, it's like very easy to botch both of them. But if you hit them correctly, you can gain a shat load of time, and you can get some like crazy momentum, some of the craziest runs. So I think those are 2 of the most important ones on the track as far as what's going to separate people time-wise. And they're also just risky. If you go a little too far inside on either of them, if you go a little too far inside on the... Oh, no! Oh, we got to go back. Let's go on board with Slaunch here and see what happened. We'll get back to that point. Unfortunate. So if you don't remember the Road America race from last year, pretty similar situation here. Slaunch, good start, good run so far, good pace, and then just a little too hard. It didn't... It's almost like he was going so fast his tire didn't like settle back in to the rumble. And as you can see, that was a rough one too. Dismount on that. He's going to lose a lot of time. Luckily for him, though, he does get out in front of this big pack, which that's pretty nice. If he got out behind that pack, that probably would have been race over. But he pulls out in front of him. I still think he could be on for a top 5 here with that recovery. It's going to be difficult, but not impossible. He could absolutely pull it off. And that's going to give Luke the lead. He's going to go for a joker here. Let's see how this works out. This might get spicy. I have to go into the zoom. I don't want to go into the POV action because probably going to lose it. Detail with the run to the right. It's going to be close. Eventually comes up with that speed. He's going to have the spot, but also it's going to be a pretty close battle because I think they're both one joker down. So that's probably like a close lead battle at this point. We'll see if any of those other drivers. Looks like Roman's making up some good time right now. Go on board with Roman here. Roman's in 3rd right now. Soul 4th. Slaunch 5th. Yeah, it's like mostly the people that were doing pretty well and feeling good on this track the last time around that are running up front right now. But yeah, that obviously that first turn, there's those rocks on the inside, and if you want to go the fastest that you can, you got to get pretty close to them, but obviously you don't want to hit them. If you hit them, you're like almost guaranteed flipping, and that's not what you want. So it's a very risky turn to go hard on, but you can just full send it into it, and you can gain lots of time. The last turn, the thing with that one is if you go too far to the inside, you kind of like hop the rumble and you actually lose speed. So you do want to hit the rumble for the best possible run in that turn, I think, but you don't want to hit it too aggressively. So it's a nice line that you need to walk there. But yeah, I think you can make up a little bit everywhere on this track. It's just those two in particular mean a lot, and it makes sense because one comes before the massive straightaway, one comes after the massive straightaway. So it kind of makes sense that those would be two of the most important ones. More joker usage coming out. See what happened here. Was that okay? So it must have been someone else because that was Hunter going for a second. Because I was saying earlier I wasn't sure if he went in for his first one, so he must have not. Unless imagine he just hit 3 jokers right there. That would have been pretty great. Scale on this track is pretty insane too. It'd be really cool whenever we do our multi-class race. This track's definitely a top candidate for it. We'll see. But I think this track could be pretty cool for the multi-class Gs. Should get some good comp in with the gooses and the hogs, and the straightaways will give the hogs chances to make gains, and it could be pretty interesting. So see what happens when we get to it, but I think this track could be a pretty good candidate for it. And just, yeah, like the scaling of it too. This track's massive. Big dive to the inside for Luke and a little bit of a run, but again, just not going to be able to be enough. You got to be very particular with when you make your moves on this one. Roman, Soul, and Slaunch kind of running into a train right there, running in a train. Armada getting some runs on Hunter. See what he can do. Oh, kind of locks it up a little bit. Aggressive move. And he gets the run, too. That's the interesting part about that one. Not only does he make the super aggressive move, he actually maintains the run. So, pretty good pass from Armada there. Camby and Matt having issues in the back right now. I think Detail going in for his joker right there. So I think this last one for him. Luke still has to take one. I think Roman behind them has to take one more. So Detail's done. Luke's got another one, I think. Roman's got another one. Soul and Slaunch. I don't know if they've taken any. Oh, was that a joker or was that wreck back there with Camby and Matt? I want to say that was probably a joker. It just looked kind of weird. Maybe if it was Camby, maybe he didn't like test the joker out pre-race and then kind of just like got surprised by it. Maybe that's probably what it was, judging by the way. Oh, really? It was Slaunch again? Oh no! All right, let's take a look. Oh no, I thought it was. All right, we're back. Replay action with Slaunch. See what happened here. That would explain it. I'm so ready for this to go all the way back again. Thank Bob. So that makes more sense now that we get to see it. So what the hell happened here? How did Soul must have done something, because I want to let it go before I rewind again, because I don't know if it's going to take me back all the way. But yeah, that was just unfortunate timing. I wonder what happened to Soul. I mean, that would explain a lot on this. Oh, rare mistake. He went a little too... That's one you don't see too often. He went a little too wide. That makes sense. Hits the buildings, and then obviously Slaunch is going to have a massive run off that. And at the end, he decides to go for the right, and it was a risky move, and just, gets cheesed in the rock there. Unfortunate. And yeah, you can tell there. That's what I was saying before. Oh, well, clutch. Oh, that sucks for Hunter. Clutch comes out right in front of this pack again, so he kind of saves his race again. It's going to be a lot harder this time because they're a lot closer on this one. But yeah, Loki saves his race again because that that would be really bad if he came out behind all those guys, especially like some of them being done with their jokers. Like he'd be super screwed. I think we're about halfway through the race right now. Again, 11 lap race, 2 jokers for everyone. Let's see if on the front guys, Luke's gonna go for his joker. Let's get on board. Details, see how this one plays out. It's gonna be last joker taken for both of the front runners. Roman in third right now does have another one to take. The big dive for Details is gonna work out to the inside. Looks like it should be okay for now. Let's see how they run it going into this first turn. Not too bad. Both keep the momentum pretty decently. It looks like we might have a battle on for the lead in this one yet again. Possibly a repeat of what we had in the last race, because again, like I was saying, that last Road America race was pretty crazy. Definitely a classic. Some wild photo finishes and some really good battles in that one, so we had to bring it back, of course, for this season. And it's looking like we might pick up where we left off, and it sucks for Slaunch because if it weren't for those conks, he'd probably, I would imagine, still be up here, and we'd have a 3-way battle for this. So that's unfortunate, but hopefully in Moto 2, not as much conk action and can bring it back a little bit. That's a nice 2-wheel. I think it was Soul there. That was a nice little 2-wheel we saw in the background for a moment there. Going board with Roman. As you can see, Roman's not staying too far away from the top 2, but again, he's got another joker to take, so unless they battle super hard and cost a lot of time, this isn't really Roman's race right now. Probably more concerned with Soul back there in fourth and where he's going to come out when he takes his joker, and what does Soul have left to do for jokers and where he's going to end up for that. But yeah, that's what it's looking like for Roman right now. It's probably a podium battle for him at the moment. Which you never know. If we get some fat battle action, it could bring him back into it for the lead one. But again, it would have to be some pretty massive battling because, yeah, they're out on jokers. He has to take another one. He'd have to like get in front of him from battling and then, somehow get so far out in front that he takes the joker and is fine. So it'd be difficult, but not impossible. Under the bridge this time by. So we get any fat send actions into turn 5. Not really that time. But setting up for it. Oh, just randomly pop into an Opix Armada battle right here. A little bit of lag cheese. I don't know if that's the theater action, what's going on with that, but that's looking kind of weird. Oh, and Opix going to pull it out right in front of Ramda, and that's going to secure him that spot. Good mid-pack battle here between Opix, Armada, and Hunter going on. Yeah, Armada's getting hit with the lag cheese. I don't know if he was actually lagging during the race or if that's theater, but... And yeah, look at the gaps. Like, look at the scaling on this track is absurd. And one driver go for a joker. We'll check who that was in a second. I think it was Slaunch, but yeah, the scale is ridiculous. I mean, when I get so far out like that, the hogs start to disappear. I think it was Slaunch going for another joker. Let's see, we might have a run for the lead here. Luke with a good battle outside the last turn. Can he hook it up in this one? Pretty decent one, but... Oh, a nice run to the inside. This could be a moment, but again, it's going to be tough. This is a really good look. But how do you keep this battle going all the way? We're in turn 5 right now. How do you keep this going all the way to turn 7? Multiple turns ahead. Yeah, not going to work. It's hard to make work there. You probably have to do some epic slide move and pull up in front of the guy to your left. But again, they're going to have the easier time doing that. So it's a really tough one to pull off from there. That was our first look for the lead change. We'll see if we have any more throughout the rest of this race. I mean, we're getting pretty close. I think we're going to be going to 2 laps to go this time by. So may only be a couple more opportunities to go for that. But that was the first, like, really big pass opportunity there and just not able to make it work. I think Roman took his joker, and I think Roman's still in front of Soul, so Roman's still looking on for the podium right now. Oh, Detail getting super loose, and again, another look to the inside. This one might be better, but it's going to be tough. Got to try to keep the momentum here. Going over the rumble, and it's close, but I think Detail has a slightly better run through the straight, so I think Luke's going to try not to die on the rock from that one. So let's see if this can continue all the way to turn 3 here. Not going to be able to. Detail's going to get around it, so yeah, just a little too much momentum on that outside. Would have been pretty risky to go for it in turn 1, but that was probably the only way to make it work right there. Oh, maybe in turn 5, another look to the inside, but not enough. We'll see what that battle's still going on. Yeah, Roman Soul. Slaunch has made gains. He must be really hauling ass because he's got that 5th place on lock right now. Opix is making a charge. He might be able to challenge for it. Armada and Hunter still in a battle. And then Camby and Matt rounding out the field on this one. Oh! Oh! And he pulls out in front. Wow, that was a moment right there for Armada. I low-key kind of want to see. And he's going to get passed up. Dang, that's unfortunate. Dude, look at the gaps in the scaling on this are absurd. But we're going to be going to white flag this time by. It must have been a bad run on one of those last corners. But I think Detail had a pretty bad run on that one, so Luke could probably get a lot of this time back. Going into the white flag, we have another crazy finish here at Road America. We're going to have another lead battle for sure. Luke setting it into turn 1 this time. But Detail holds it in the middle. If he slid out wide a little bit more right there, Luke might have had a pretty good look at it. But he's able to keep it in the middle of the track, which is what he needed to do right there. Still a few more opportunities for it left in the race. It's going to be tough. I think that's probably the best zone. It's tough, but I feel like that's probably the best zone to make that pass work. So with that zone already gone, it's going to be really hard for this pass to happen. But not over till it's over. Detail really hard on the brakes. Just holding the lines here. Running out of time. There's going to be one more major passing turn here for Luke to try to make this work. The carousel could happen, but it's going to be tough, and you can tell he gets the line, but just not enough room there to make it work. Detail just holding on to this one. Glued to each other's bumpers this entire race, and it's going to come down to the last couple turns. See if Luke can make anything happen here. Trying to set it up. Detail's going to hold that inside. Not going to be able to make anything happen there. Just need to try to hold the momentum. But it's looking pretty good for Detail to take the first moto right now. Last turn, not going to work. Last turn, Detail going to hold on to it. Run it all the way to the line. Take the first moto right there. Luke coming in second. And Roman. Soul got pretty close, but Roman holds on to it. So Roman third, Soul fourth. Man, Slaunch lost so much time from those wrecks, but did a pretty crazy job holding on to the top 5. He does take 5th in this one. Opix 6th. And Hunter will hold on to that 7th place. Armada in 8th, Camby in 9th, and Matt's going to be bringing it across in 10th as well. Get a lineup shot. But yeah, so that's going to be our first moto there. Top 3 on that one. Detail, Luke, and Roman again. Roman picking up. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. Definitely not his first podium on the season, but he's got a couple overall top 3s and some podiums. But picking up another one here. I think maybe his 4th from what I'm seeing. So picking up another one for him. And that battle between him, Soul, and Ramda is still raging on. So that's pretty interesting. And then obviously the points battle is going to mix up a little bit here too on this one. So. But yeah, good first race, good battle to the end, and let's load it up for Moto 2.